Chinese leader Xi Jinping has created the most heavily surveilled state in history. And I'd like to dive into how Chinese surveillance tactics also impact Americans. You have described TikTok as, quote, digital fentanyl. Explain what makes TikTok so much more dangerous than Facebook or Amazon or any other US-based company that collects reams of data on Americans every day.
Well, one, none of these highly addictive social media apps are good for us on some level. But what makes TikTok different is the basic ownership structure. TikTok is owned by ByteDance, and ByteDance is effectively controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. The other thing I think we have to concede is that the TikTok is so successful because the algorithm is better at addicting kids. And that's why the comparison to fentanyl, I think, is appropriate. The real concern with TikTok is not just that the app can track your location, which it can. The threat is that increasingly it's a news source for young Americans. It's not just about dumb dance videos. It is a source of information. So the question we have to ask ourselves, do we want a CCP-controlled company to be the dominant media platform in America? And I have to believe we can come to a compromise in the form of a forced sale to an American company that satisfies my national security concerns while still allowing the app to exist in some form.
You referenced how many Americans are getting their news on TikTok. Put that in concrete terms in terms of the 2024 election. Of course, there was a lot of focus placed on international interference in the 2016 election. What could the influence of TikTok look like in the 2024 election?
It could have a massive impact. I mean, merely by tweaking the algorithm, you could downplay certain narratives, you could intensify certain narratives, you could enhance the core narrative right now, which is that America is a systemically racist, evil hellscape and all cops are bad. I mean, they're parroting this propaganda online on our social media platforms. And so it could have a devastating impact on our elections. And again, it gets back to the core issue. We don't want to give an entity like the Chinese Communist Party that weapon with which to not only influence our elections, but influence our sense of national identity or intensify hostility between Americans. America Against America is the title of a book written by one of Xi Jinping's closest advisors. And it also describes the strategy that they've deployed quite effectively to pit Americans against Americans and make sure that we are focused on destroying ourselves and not confronting aggression coming out of Beijing.